Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a tier list from Shonen anime. Very nice, very nice. Um, now, I do tier lists all the time, mainly like chats and stuff. So I've done this many times, so my opinion has not changed very much. However, I'm putting this out so that the world can see, or like my two viewers. So let's just start this off by just putting the expected to where they're supposed to be. Anyways, now that expected is done, let's move on. Uh, what else is obvious? Let's talk about Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is a weird one, alright? Because it's a bad show. It's obvious, it's a bad show. However, there's a few things good with it, in my opinion. Such as its fight scenes, which I think are actually really good. Its animation is really good, in my opinion. And the OST is actually not that bad. So honestly, I'd put it... I don't know why these are labeled like that. I'm gonna just... I think we'll be fine with that. Now, the next thing that'd be kind of self-explanatory is JoJo. Enough said. Fantastic show. Just amazing. All right, even better manga. Just amazing. Let's move on to Attack on Titan. I've not finished the third season, sadly. However, what I can say from like seasons 1 and 2 and like some of season 3, fantastic show. Really nice characters, really nice story, very cool battles, very very nice. My one gripe with the show is probably its animation. That sounds really weird, but like, it's very obvious when something's CG, and I don't believe the CG in Attack on Titan is actually that good. And that's pretty much about it. I can't really give it an S tier. However, I think we can settle with an A tier. That's definitely where it should be. Maybe I'll give it an S in the future, but I'll keep it at A for now. Now we have Black Clover. I'm almost caught up on the manga, and I've obviously seen all the anime. And it's one of those shows that you have to read the manga for, because the anime does not do it justice, like Bleach, for example, or One Piece, like two of my favorite shows of all time. However, I cannot stress enough how much you need to read the manga for Black Clover. You can see people that are judging the show based on just the show alone, not the manga, which I think is actually really upsetting, because I would honestly rank it more than Attack on Titan right now. The reason for that is because for shonen, in my opinion, like what is a shonen? What makes a shonen? Battles, humor, the waifus, bad filler, and pacing. The 5 key aspects to shonen. And I think Black Clover handles 4 of these 5 right. Obviously filler is kind of a joke. Nobody likes filler at all. In most shows it's actually terrible. But I'm fine with it in other shows. But Black Clover doesn't have any of that. It has like 1 or 2 episodes of Petite Clover, I think. And that's about it. Its pacing is amazing. It goes from one arc to the other seamlessly and very fast, which I like a lot. And its main character is also amazing. His design is cool, and his swords are amazing. Now, let's move on to Bleach. Bleach gets a bad rap, in my opinion. It's really said to be bad. Like, its story, it's like Aizen. I mean, those are valid complaints. However, I feel like Bleach is something that most shows just aren't. Like, it's centered around one thing, and it sticks to that very, very well, with over, I think, 500 something chapters. I'm completely caught up in the manga. So yeah, but Bleach it might be a nostalgia thing, but most of Bleach for me is like, hey, like it's a sword anime, fighting anime, complete shonen, one of the most shonen anime as it gets. Like it's, I honestly don't think it gets like that much better in terms of like fight scenes. And for like final arcs, it has one of my favorite final arcs in all of manga, even though it's extremely rushed. However, that's not really the creator's fault either, because Shonen Jump. So I'd give it an A. Below Black Clover and Attack on Titan, obviously, because it's not that quality in terms of like its show. It has like half of the show's filler as well, and I don't necessarily like that at all. Moving on to Blue Exorcist. I finished Blue Exorcist years ago, and from what I remember, it's just a pretty good show. That's about it. I know a lot of complaints with it. I don't really remember most right as of this moment, but yeah, I for most people they say that it's like really bad, which I don't agree with at all, or really good, which I don't agree with. So I'll put it in like a fine line. I'll put it like low B for now. It shows high B, but I'll put stuff in front of it. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. I'm gonna group these two together. The reason why is because same show, but just different stuff happening. I haven't finished like most of Super. I mean, I know most of Super, but since it's like mainly like tournaments and stuff. Same thing with Z. That's my problem with Dragon Ball. I love tournament arcs, but few shows can actually do it justice. And I mean, if you have a tournament arc like every episode, then I guess it's good. So honestly, like I haven't had the same experience. Like when I was younger, I didn't grow up watching Dragon Ball, so I don't really have the same experiences as most people. However, it's not really about that in the grand scheme of things, but like I do think that nostalgia does play at least a little bit of a factor in determining if a show's good or not. But yeah, just so I don't anger people, I think that'd be fine. And for Z, I'm ranking off Z Kai because the original Z was actually not that good. Yeah. Death Note. If I can make my, if I could have one word to describe Death Note, it would be disappointing. Like, for the first part of it, it was my favorite show of all time. However, like, it's fallen down from its grace from as a pretty good show, one of the best shonen, and then its ending was just ew. And the reason why I'm not putting in like S or A, like it's like after L died, it just was awful. It had nothing else going for it besides that it was Death Note and it was familiar. Like, the thing that made it special was its protagonist. Light Yagami is a really good protagonist, as well as overpowered. However, I feel like he fell down from grace. He used to be this guy that was like an anti-protagonist in a way. Even though he was the protagonist, it was more like the other people were the protagonist. I really liked that. It was really unique at the time. But as of recent, and like for the ending as well, I don't think it was really done that well, especially since Light turned from this guy that liked helping people to like killing criminals and stuff to stop the crime, to a ruthless pretty much god at that point. So I'd put in A. I think that's fair. This one's obvious. Yeah, that one's obvious. Gintama. Now, I haven't finished Gintama. I'm decently into it, but I think it's mostly that it's really funny how you could just jump anywhere in the show that isn't an arc, and you can get the same experience from it. The combat that I've seen from it is actually really good, surprisingly. I can't really get that much of an opinion for Gintama, but so far I'd put it B. I think that's fair. Haikyuu, it's Haikyuu is unique. It's not my favorite sports show, or sports anime. In my opinion, it's not even that good of a shonen either. It's good, but it's not on par with like any of these other shows up here. Yet again, I haven't finished it, so who knows? It's probably one of the best shows ever made, and I just don't realize. But I think I'll make like another thing for like no opinion. Like it's. I would have an opinion on it if I finished it, obviously, but for now, I think I would just put in not applicable. Hunter x Hunter. Spoiler alert, I have 4 things that I'm going to put in S, and Hunter x Hunter is probably the weakest, in my opinion. You know what? Why not just put the other one out of the way? Okay, so Hunter x Hunter, in my opinion, is one of those shows that anybody can get into no matter what. It's serious and not that serious at the same time. It's funny and not funny. It's amazing and not amazing. It has one of the best final arcs in the anime, at least, that I've seen. Its battles are tip-top, like, perfect. Amazing. Like, I've never seen something that good in a final arc in an anime. For at least from the ones I've finished. Most of these shows I haven't finished. But yeah, that's I think that's enough said. I mean, its system is also great for like powers. Like that's all good. Even though I don't think it compares to FMA, JoJo, or One Piece. Let's talk about One Piece since I mentioned it. It is my favorite show of all time, as of now. If you've watched the show, you don't need to know why it's that good. In my opinion, it defines shonen, in a way that most shonen just can't do, like Dragon Ball, because it covers everything perfectly. It has a perfect balance of everything. And you might say that the show's bad because of it's really because of how long it is and how bad the animation is. Even though the animation's gotten better in the recent arc, the Wano arc, at least in the anime, and I'll have to say that it's, if you haven't watched One Piece, just go check it out, because it's really hard to explain it all in just this one video without going on a rant or a ramble. So I'll have to, I'll definitely make a video on One Piece in the future. But as of now, I'll just put it in high S as my favorite. On to Hajime no Ippo. It's one of those shows that you know is good just by the cover alone. Just by the cover alone, you can see how good it is. It's just this dude who's about to box you, basically. You can see the gloves right there. And I think that's a great shot as well. That basically shows everything you need to know about the show. It's I don't really I haven't finished Hajime no Ippo. However, as of sports anime, well, it does count as sports anime. It's probably my second favorite sports anime. right next to Slam Dunk. So who knows? Maybe if I finish the show, it could be just amazing, just like Gintama. Now, or Haikyuu. Now, Rurouni Kenshin. Pure classic of a swords anime. It's not over the top like Dragon Ball or Bleach. It's not like down so much as down to earth either, like something like Hajime no Ippo. However, it's a perfect mix of both, in my opinion, to the point where it's made a name for itself as, you know, that. Not much else to say about it, in my opinion. Amazing characters, amazing plot, amazing like moves and stuff. The main character is obviously one of my favorite swordsmen in all of anime. Very great. Yeah. I haven't watched this show at all, so not applicable. My Hero Academia. You guys are gonna hate me. I think it is an average at best shonen. Here's why. Its power system is awful. Okay? It is the single worst power system I've ever seen in a shonen ever. Apart from, like, Fairy Tail, but that's obvious. It's so, like, gratingly bad. I can, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to, Nux Taku's video, link in the description. He explains it perfectly, like, the problems with, My Hero Academia. And, I think those all could be applied to make it, like, not SRA. I think Deku is a whiny brat, who, it's like, he had his powers pretty much handed to him, however, he actually worked for them in a way. So, I don't know. Its villains are pretty good, I'd say. Just average. Obviously I'm not that far into My Hero Academia. I'm like past the overhaul fight, and we're on to the gentle arc. I've seen like snippets of other arcs, like some of the most recent stuff in the manga, which I will not say, just in case. And I don't know. My Hero Academia. I would put it in B. It has a lot of flaws. You can't deny that. It has a lot of flaws. However, My Hero Academia is obvious. It has a good rep for a reason, and that's probably, in my opinion, because of how easy it is to get into it. It's a very short show, about 63 episodes, like 200 something chapters, which is not that much, and it's very digestible. It's very well paced. Some of the powers are actually really unique and cool. I think that it pulls the JoJo in my opinion. For my JoJo's like power system is really good. They took like one part of that and put it into My Hero Academia, and that's the well, not really the power system, the like the fighting in general, like actually taking skill to fight, not just full on power like Bleach or like Dragon Ball. So yeah, I think B is a perfect place to put it. On to Naruto. Naruto is one of those shows that, you know, it's good. However, it's not the best. I can't put it in S or A tier. I just can't put myself to. It has way too much filler. Just way too much filler. Its fights are good. It has one of my favorite fights in anime. However, it's like, it doesn't have much apart from that. I mean, it has a very iconic character. One of the most useless characters ever. Very emo guy. Like, it's the epitome of what a shonen is if it was wrapped up in a very blunt format, in my opinion. Like, even taking the bads of shonen and just shoving it in there as well. Even though Naruto, in a way, kind of defined a little bit of shonen, because it was, like, very early on. But yeah, I think B is a great place to put it. On to Seven Deadly Sins. Okay. Actually, it's alright. It's really good, actually. I don't really like its, like, power scaling that much. Or, like, its power level. Some of the main characters, I mean, some of the, Seven Deadly Sins are, in my opinion, some are amazing, and some are just kind of like grading over time. But yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's pretty good. Noragami, B tier again. It's okay. Imagine a show like, I don't know. Imagine Hunter x Hunter, but it's like 30 episodes long, and without its final arc. That's basically what Noragami is. The ending to Noragami in at least the anime, I haven't read the manga for Noragami at all, was really confusing in my opinion. Its first season was great. It was amazing. I would put it in A tier if I could. But the second season kind of drifted it down with like the confusing ending. And I don't know. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. One Punch Man. I've read most of the manga, and I've watched the show, of course. I'll give my opinions on season 2 in a future video. However, I do think that season 1 and 2 are amazing. Just plain and simple. One Punch Man, in my opinion, is the thing that everyone knows. Well, not in my opinion, it's a fact. Everyone knows One Punch Man. Sentiment's Egghead is very, very recognizable. And it's such a good show. You if you're watching this video, you've seen One Punch Man. Maybe not the second season, but you've definitely seen the first, and you know how good it is. I don't need to say anymore. Hitman Reborn, another classic. Most classics, I tend to put really high up, like Samurai Champloo, I put in like S. Cowboy Bebop, I put an S. Slam Dunk, I put an S. Kiriko Hitman Reborn is really, really good. Please take a watch if you haven't seen it already. It's really, really good. Like, surprisingly, even though the main character doesn't look that good, just take a watch and then form your opinions from there. Naruto Shippuden. I think I'm gonna break the tie with C. Naruto Shippuden had one of the worst endings in Shonen, like, in my opinion, and it led on to the worst Shonen ever made. So, well, not really led. It's more like a, like, sort of like a stepping stone to the trash can that is Boruto. But in Naruto Shippuden, I mean, it had good fights. It had good story to an extent until the last, like, 200 episodes. It had a really good main character. It had a really good villain for, like, halfway through the show, Pain. I thought he was great. Obito is one of my favorite characters ever. Yeah, it's just good. But, endings make shows a lot. So this would be in B, but I'd had to put in C because of the ending and, like, the final arc. Soul Eater is kind of on that same premise. It's really good. Its characters are memorable. Its story is good. Well, there's not really... yeah, there's a story there, but what am I talking about? Its weapons are cool. The whole weapon concept of a Meister and a weapon is very unique in my opinion. Nothing else from there. But the ending, in the anime at least, was a filler ending. And the whole show, in general, while good, its animation was not that good either. I haven't read the manga, so I don't really get an opinion on that. Actually, I'll just put it here so people don't get mad at that. Yeah, I think that's fair. I haven't finished Promised Neverland. And Yu Yu Hakusho, classic, nothing more to say. Anyways, that's my shonen anime, or at least shonen battle anime tier list, or shonen battle manga. But I mean, I haven't read most of the manga for any of this. If you have a problem with this tier list, or if you just want to debate it, I'm happy to in the comments if this actually gets any views. And yeah, I'll see you in like a few months, I guess, whenever I upload next. See ya.